Hello, friends, and welcome back to Restore You. It is Angela, and thank you for joining me on this play date. Today, I thought it would be fun to show you some of the ways that I use these that might be just a little bit different and might give you some tips and tricks on how you can very inexpensively utilize those discarded magazines and turn them into beautiful pieces of art. So that is our quest for the day. But before we get started, as you know, our channel continues to grow, and it is because of every one of you that supports me. I cannot tell you how much it means to get, a message from you or an email, to have you, liking our videos, commenting on our videos, and just all the sweet encouragement that you give myself and Dave, because he's part of this too, right? So today I want to give a special shout out to Wendy, Brenda, and Rebecca, and I hope that you're watching, because I just want you all to know how much I appreciate you and how much it really means to grow friendships like all of you, and through our communications and conversations. I feel like I am getting to know you guys, and specifically the three of you in forging a friendship. So thank you so much. So if you like this video today, make sure that you give it a little thumbs up and maybe subscribe if you haven't. But today I have two magazines, Cottages and Bungalows, and you guys know our background, so I have a love for interiors and such. And I've read through the entire thing, and thought I would use some of these to just show you how I utilize them. Specifically, though, we're going to work on, I'm going to call this Ephemera You Will Cherish, because this is one of the catalogs I get. They're very large, and they're just filled with, see, I've already been playing with it, just really cool images. And I like how they're, you're able to cut them out and do some fun things with them. So we're going to use that one specifically today. But before we do that, let's talk a little bit about how you can use these. Now, oh shoot, I know what I was going to get. Let's see if I can find it here really quick. I will link the video. I have a video on how to make Inchies and Twinchies. And on our Facebook group, To Restore You, the To Restore You VIP group, there are some templates so that you can, one that is our Inchies and Twinchies that I did, and the other is a template so you can store your Inchies and Twinchies. Basically, they don't have to be an inch. They don't have to be 2 inches. This is, I think, actually 1.5 inches, and it's something I found somewhere. And it worked perfectly. But the whole premise is that you can go through your magazines and find pieces like this. Let me see if I can get that closer. And you say, oh, that looks perfect there. And you can make those into stamps or whatever your little heart desires. So this is one way to use your magazines. And like I said, if you want an entire tutorial on how I do that, look at that. Isn't that cute? I will link that below. So that's one thing that you can do, and you can just make your own 1x1, 2x2, whatever size you wish template. And this was a slide template, and I just cut around it and made one out of cardboard. The other thing that I want to share with you, because this particular magazine is shiny, and you've seen another video where I use matte gesso and sometimes clear gesso to actually mute the pages. But I'll tell you, see this nasty piece of sandpaper? It's it's a sanding block. But one of the things that I like to do is just, and I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see this, but maybe you'll be able to tell next to these other pictures, is just give it a little sweep of the sandpaper, and now it's totally muted. You can kind of see where it's not there, where I missed it, and this is all more antiqued and vintage. You can see the difference between the two. That one has a little bit of a glare. So very simple way to do it. You just need to use a really light hand to make that happen, and just kind of look at it and see how that will work out for you. The other thing that I like to do, this is a really good example, is, let's see, do I have a frame? I do. Just to give you an example. This would make a really cool, it's a door, but I mean, you could frame it. You could cut that out and use it as a fold out. You could cut down the middle and have it fold back in. So think about, you know, even if it's a decorating magazine, think about ways that you can use them differently. Sometimes it's looking through the lens just a little bit differently than you normally would. And one of the things, this could actually be part of Wallpaper Wednesday. Oh no. Oh, hold on, hang on. I was working on a project last night and I had my glue stick out in the family room. So what I'm doing is I'm just adding this to a piece of wallpaper. Now, in my opinion, this is just how I operate. It is much easier for me to cut things out and lay them out on something that I'm not going to have to then back. This piece of wallpaper is pretty neutral, pretty blank. So it would, if for any of these, if I wanted to use them as a journaling spot, which a lot of them are too small, but if I wanted to, I could, because it's neutral and this is already done. So now I have bases for tons of different things. I can keep this nearby, which I just keep it kind of by my project cart. And when I need something for a specific item, that's how I use it. Now, before we move on to our main event, I wanted to show you one other thing that will help you. Not only can you use the gesso or clear gesso, not only can you use the sandpaper, you can also use, and I'm going to use, this is silk left over. If you haven't seen, I got to write this down because I'm going to forget to link all these videos. The videos that I've been doing on the men's neckties and what we've been, currently I've got pockets and tucks, but I have some others. But look at how bright that is. And now when you put this right over the top, and you could sew around it, you could glue. I would suggest using probably the Art Glitter Glue. And now you've just muted that as well. You could use vellum, anything that's really, really see-through. But I had all these, so I was like, well, we may as well use them. So let me just show you a couple that I did. Okay. So this one, I actually took, this is not on the front, it's on the back. This is a piece of that silk tie. I used my Distress inks. I don't know if you can see the shiny pretty in it. I used some Tim Holtz and some of my own mica inks, which I have a video on how to make your own alcohol inks. I better write that down. But this one I just backed with it. What I did find about, I don't know if it was this particular one, or if it was because I sprayed it with the alcohol inks, but it does not distress like some of these others that I'm going to show you. So I just use my pinking shears to make that one. This one, if you can see, it's a sweet little grandma, and she's got a cake. Look at all those birthday candles. So I want to make this into a birthday card of some sort, but I wanted to show you, and I didn't get it. It was the photo was kind of curled, so it made it not quite lay as flat, but I think I can fix that once I put it on a page. But this is what I'm talking about the distressing. You can literally see that. Can you see that? It makes a huge mess, but it gives it such a cool look. And I'm barely even touching this. So you've got that little option as well. And look at how that just makes it kind of a little muted, a little bit different. You know, you could always use your ink dauber and vintage it up a little bit. So you've got tons of options, but that's a great way. This was a fun one. It's just, there's a couple old cars, and it looks like they're at a motel of some sort, and it says globe at the top, and it says life was meant for great adventure. And then in my altered book, I put a couple of little goodies in there. I have this one where I did it with a butterfly. The butterfly was really shiny. And then I also did it on a piece of, this is one of my digitals, and these are some of the belly bands, and so I just covered it to give it another look. And then I think I did one in the back. All I've gotten done in this book is, oh yeah, there's one here. I thought there might have been one more. Maybe not. Nope, just that one. But that's just a coin envelope from one of my digitals, and then the little daylilies. So simple. If you've got those kind of scraps lying around, use them up. And this is what I used originally for one of my master boards I used from an old magazine, and then did some of those with that. So let's move those aside and get down to it. Down to business. I don't know, but there's, for some reason, this hammock is speaking to me. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this page out, because there might be a possibility we can use this. But here's what I want to show you. This is a, let's see, let me just put this down in the black so you can see it better. This is a journal card that I did, and I didn't do anything to the back. It's just white at the moment. I didn't even distress it. But this is using that Cherish magazine, some Tim Holtz people, and a piece of Tim Holtz vintage wallpaper. Now, this tells a story, right? You've got the quote says, travel the world over to find the beautiful. And you've got two little kids, and I like the juxtaposition where the chair's, you know, not really the size that it should be, but it is. And there's a little cute little poochie down there. This was a rug from that magazine. This was a old trunk from the magazine. These were all images from that magazine. And now it looks like we're sitting in their foyer, and they're waiting to go on an adventure to, let's see, well, Australia is somewhere that Dave and I really want to go. So let's just say they're headed to Australia to see all my Australian friends over there. But so easy, but now you're creating something that isn't just a piece of ephemera. It actually tells a story. So we're going to try to do a couple of those today using this magazine, and perhaps this page, because I don't know, there's something that's speaking to me. So the reason I picked this Cherish magazine is because, well, it's got lots of chairs in it. Let me get rid of these. I am keeping all of these because I'm going to do some collage with them. But perhaps there might be something in here we can use for, some of those are from another magazine, Daphne's Diary, I think. We might be able to find something we can use in there. So there's a chair. It's a very large chair. So that would be probably a little too big. Okay, there's one. There's two. That might work. Oh my goodness. Oh, but then I have to, Look at these leopard chairs. Those are fabulous. And then there's this awesome sofa. Huh. Okay, let's just do this. I tried to get all of my seated people to use for this. So let's see what we can find. Let's see what will work best. Let's try these two, because these, I like this texture in those chairs. Let's see. What do we got? Who do we have here? I'm thinking they might need to be a little bit littler. She would work. But just look what that does just already. That would be cute too. But I think I want to use him for a different. Oh, here, let's look at this guy. Yep, he's a little too tall. But no, maybe, oh yeah. I love, oh, this little girl is not sitting. That would work too. Okay, so we've got options. She's got a big old dress on. Okay, so you can see those would work, and I do like them. Let's just see if we can get, this is a little bit of an angle, these chairs. So I'm not sure. Well, that's very eclectic, isn't it? Modern chair, vintage woman. I kind of like that. But see, this one doesn't quite work because we could use that chair. I think we're going to start with this because this brings me happiness. Let's see. I can cover that. I love the colors of this. And let's see how long it is because we want to make sure if I'm going to be gluing down a bunch of my Timmy people. I think we can cut it about at the leg and it'd be about 6.5. So I can make that work. I can make that work. Let's see. Well, she has to sit kind of there if we're going to use her. Let's see. Oh, I love this little girl. She's not bad. She's not bad either. I feel like we need to make it a... no. Well, maybe. Oh, what about this guy? Let's poke this out. I like him there, and I like her there. I'm just popping out these little pieces. She can go right there. Do we want her or what else do we have? Kind of liking her. Let's see. I got some more back here. Oh, look at her. She's cute too. Let's see. She might be a little too small. No, I think she looks pretty cute right there. Little family. All right, we're doing it. We're going to put them down. I'm just deciding if I want to cut. I think we're going to put these aside and I'm going to tear this out. That's a cool chair too. Couch, I mean. Sofa. Ooh, I don't want to lose her. Okay, let's set this aside. And I think I'm just going to... I'm gonna fussy cut it. I know. I'm sorry. I hate doing that on camera, but one of the things that you will probably see when I, if I ever, which is very seldom, I'm just gonna cut this out so it makes it easier. When I'm fussy cutting, I would say I don't really fussy cut because fussy cutting is really getting right next to the edge. So what I generally do is something called kiss cutting, and you can kind of see that. I leave just a smidgen of the edge around the image, as long as it's not, you know, something that's really distracting to the eye. And it's just easier for me, and I'm usually going to distress these items anyway, so why not? Okay. I'm going to leave this for right now because that'll give our little lady something to kind of adhere to. And I think that I want to find some kind of, I should have gotten some of my wallpaper. I don't think I have any really, really handy here. Oh, I might. Okay, pay attention. Don't be looking around when you're doing your cutting. Fingers could be maimed in not paying attention, or the sofa could end up with one less leg. We would hate for that to happen. And if I have to, I can trim this down to fit in on a journal page. But this would be cute. I've got a whole fashion project and an inspirational journal, which I think would make really a fun page. Okay, so she's going to go there. She's going to sit here. And then he is going to go here. So on the original one that I did, where did he go? I started with the gentleman. I left his little boot kind of kicked up, and then I placed the little girl on top, and then I slid the little guy under there to sit on the trunk. So it looks a little more proportional. And I'm okay if it doesn't look perfect. This is a junk journal, so why not? Okay, now we need to find something that's going to go in the background. Oh, here they are. I know. And I'm kind of thinking, do you see this? This is, every time I go to say it, I want to say bark cloth, and that's not it. It is grass cloth. But that might look pretty. It's just a basic background. It's not like the vintage wallpaper that I used from the Tim Holtz, but I really like that. What do you guys think? Should we go for it? I don't have any more puppy dogs. I kind of like this saying. I just got some of these new Tim Holtz words. They're on chipboard. The world needs who you were made to be. So maybe, and let's see how long that's going to be. It's going to be about 7 1/4. I'm okay with that. Okay. And I could add some other vintage pieces to it and some lace and all of that good stuff, but I just think it speaks so strongly the way it is that I want to leave it alone. So let's start with putting our chintz sofa down. Now on the back of this is just, words. If you didn't mind, you could just leave those words there, write right over them. Or you can back it. But again, one of the things that I like to do as I'm creating is first back my base paper, because I don't want to have to cut as much. So for me, I like the look of the vintage wallpaper and the words that are on it. So I oftentimes just leave them. Now, I use Fabri-Tac on this because this is the grass cloth, and so I want to make sure that this sticks really well. And of course, I missed a chair leg. Just hold that down for a second. Okay, let's place our family on here. Okay, I want to put this right about there. Let's just look through this. Maybe there's a couple of kind of funky, that's a little bit too big. I'm thinking about there's a couple things we might be able to use on this page, but let's look through here, because maybe we can add, so it looks like more like we're sitting in this family's living room. Whoa, look at those. Too bright, obviously. Hang on, I just oh, here, what's this? This is stuff that I pulled off. These are all, these were all pillows. Maybe we can put a pillow behind somebody. That one's way too big. You could pretend that that's a, put some book page behind it and pretend that that's a, or we could do something else. Let's see. Hang on, hang on. I'm trying to look for something that's long, or even a, here. What about, talk to me on this. What if we put this about right here and then cut out a little bit around it? Doing it. And then that will be our frame on the top. Our photo, our family photo. Let's make sure I don't have anything really fantastic behind it. Oh, and look at those. I don't know. Maybe we'll use that on another one. I'm easily amused, I'm telling you. Oh. I love the fact, and you guys have heard me say this a million times, there's just something that I love about vintage photos and the story that they tell, or that I make up about them, because I'm like, oh, well, this family just moved to their new house and they're decorating it. They moved to be closer to family. Okay, let's see how, I kind of wanted that to be, cover that up, but still use it. That will work, and I'll just cut it down. Doing it. I thought at first these were stickers, and if they are, somebody can tell me, but for the life of me, I couldn't get the sticky back off. So I was like, well, they're going on like this. I love these chipboard words. So see, sometimes, and you know, I say this a lot, sometimes it's just looking at anything just a little bit differently to make something absolutely unique for your journals. And this is a prime example of that. This was a bad idea. Not doing it. I'm just cutting. I have a big project coming up where I'm going to be using this X-Acto knife a lot. And so I always say a little prayer to myself before I get started, like, please don't cut yourself, because that would be bad. I don't want to have to edit. And I don't want to cut myself. Now, it would have been cute if I would have put some brads in there, but okay, now we definitely need to look at that. All that silk on there is on there. I could have done another. I could have cut out something dark and actually put a frame around it too. That would have been cute. Okay, I'm not going to put that on until we get the family kind of back where we want them. Can you guys all see that? Okay, Mama. The big skirt. One baby girl. Oh, she needs to be popped out here. There we go. What is that? Oh. So what have you guys all been up to? I can't even, besides taking care of that new puppy, little Ruby, we're working on getting her registered to be a comfort dog. Because, you know, unlike me, not everybody likes to go to the dentist. And we're hoping that will, I think I'm going to bypass. There's too much already going on to do a pillow. Okay, let's put her down first. And she's been doing fabulous. I mean, she's so little, but I mean, maybe I'm a biased dog mom, but she's just so smart. She's already sitting, heeling. She knows her commands. Dave's been taking her on hikes to our pond. And he sent me some videos, and, you know, we don't want her going in the pond, obviously. And she, well, the pond's frozen, so either way, we don't want her on it. But she's, you know, listening to her commands. I certainly hope that continues to last. So other than caring for her and enjoying, I hate to say it's been easy, that it's easy, because then something might go really wrong, but she's been really fun. And this is the first, like, real baby puppy we had. Zenny was 4 months when we got her, so she had already had some manners classes. And then we took her to, the kids and I took her to school, so not to say that helped a whole lot, but she's a pretty good puppy. She's quiet. So let's see. Oh, today I get to go hang out with some of my friends and have lunch, and we are planning one of our friends' bridal shower. So I'm excited about that. And I like how this kind of goes over here. Oh my gosh, that's so cute. Cute little family. They may be from different eras, but hey, that's okay. No judgment. I like how his little leg is right over. Oh my gosh, that is so cute. I love it. How much time do we have? Do we have time to do another one? Let's cut this off. Now, I know some of you, oh, you know what? This is, let's see if I can make this work with my scissors. Sometimes this works and sometimes it does not. I know for some of you, depending on what part of the world you're in, these Tim Holtz products are sometimes hard to find. And I know they're also a little expensive. But, you know, if you can find them at places like your local craft stores where they're on sale, I mean, just try to pick them up because you can get a really good deal. Look how cute that is. Now we have maybe, perhaps, this family is coming to see this family who just moved into their home. Love it. All right, let's do another one. Okay, we have that chair I had already, and these are like just, all of these were just pillows, and I did these with those Inchies and Twinchies. So, as you can tell, like that one I left like a pillow. But all of these, you would never know that they were pillows before, and they can become backgrounds for little stamps, for little tickets, whatever you want. Oh, what if, I don't know. I don't know how this is going to work. Let's just play with it because there's, for some reason, I want to use this. And I'm going to just do this now. Just to cut that off. And I know we're not going to want this, but I'm sure that we're going to cut down the, this might not work at all, but I mean, I could leave it that large. This would be fun in a summer journal. Let's just play around with it. Oops. Dropping people. I may have to save this for, I may have to use some of my own. Oh, it cracks me up. Put him next to the blue jean jacket. Let's see, do we have a little friend that wants to join him? I don't have a lot of seated. Okay, let's see. She doesn't look too... This one, she doesn't look too terribly happy to be... Oh my gosh. She might be a little bit too big. Let's try her. She's ready to go to school. She wants to get down to business. What about this cute little guy? He looks like he belongs there. Do I have any other little kiddos? Not in this stack. And all the rest of them are all standing. So it's leave him by himself. Or add this little princess in there. Now, do we want to... This is awfully long. Thinking I could cut it down. I could just leave him there. And then cut it off about right there. Cut it down a little bit. Okay, let's put him up here. Because I think we might... I don't think I know. Our little Cherish catalog will probably have another something. Where we can maybe... That one was the one I cut the other. Let's see how our people look here. Come on, little people. Oh, she looks cute. That's not a sitting one. What's this guy? Nope, he's too little. Ooh, he looks cool there. Okay, so either one of those look cool. She's too tiny. Let's look at her. Too tiny. All these little girls are going to be, our kids are going to be too tiny. Oh, that looks good too. And then we got this guy. I love the way he's sitting like, hey, you want to mess with me? What do you think? Option A. Option B, he's still a little bit too tiny. And I think it's got to be one of the guys. I'm thinking it's him, because he takes up more of the space. Okay, let's do it. We're going to call him, what should we call him? He needs a name. How about Lars? That sounds like a good name. I like the name Lars. And if I'm not mistaken, wasn't there a Lars in Little House on the Prairie? I don't know. I read all the books. I should know. I'm cutting this out because perhaps we'll use it. I think I'm going to go back to those... all those pieces of, or all those wall hangings that were, where's my, and I want to use something that is in this magazine for the backdrop, instead of like the Tim Holtz wallpaper or the actual wallpaper. So let's see what we can find. So now we've got the chair, we got our friend Lars. He seems like he's maybe ready to do a business deal somewhere. Let's see. Okay, still those. Where is that? Here it is. Don't you think we should use some of those? Yes, Angela, I sure do. Sometimes I don't watch all of my videos back, but sometimes I watch them back and I go, really, why are you asking them? They can't talk to you. They can't tell you. It's okay. I feel like you're here. All right. Ooh, you know what? We're doing it. I kind of like these praying hands, too. Okay, this will be the last one we do together. But I hope this sparks some creativity with you guys. Okay, perhaps what I could do is we can cut the guy out. Or, I mean, sorry. Use that table. Put our little friend here. Perhaps put the bust on the table. Maybe not use that. Maybe use a couple of these. Okay, loving it. Now let's see if we can find... I'm just doing this on a... Ooh, what if... Can I get that? I don't know that there's going to be enough. Let's see if some of our scraps, because look at this. This is from Daphne's Diaries. Too bright. Let's see what this looks like. This is pretty bright. I think that chair will just blend, will be too much. Or the background will be too much. Keep going. Don't give up. I got a big old mess over here. I'm just flipping through some of these scraps. Ooh. These are some Isn't that neat? Let's just see. This doesn't really look like wallpaper. Looks like more new. Okay, hold on. I could use some more of this. I've got all this handy. And it really is pretty. Let's move this out of the way. It's distracting. Okay, what if... Let's see how wide this is. 5 7/8. Okay. Let's see. We'll put this there. Cut out our chair. Put it in front. Possibly down a little bit. Put him on the chair. See what happens. Okay. Let's do it. I hope this finds you all running to grab all your magazines. And I mean, Cherish is one that obviously there's a lot of furnishings and art, but any magazine works. Better Homes and Gardens, this, you know, Country Living, Cottages, anything. I mean, even some of the Daphne's Diaries would be fabulous for it. But I just think it's like, yeah, they look cute on a collage sitting on, you know, a piece, but why not have a little fun making it look like you've just been invited into these people's homes. So Lars, you see how I'm doing that, where I'm not getting all the way up to the edge, and I am okay with that. I just kind of did it at an angle so that it would cut out the majority of that. And I'll just go around. And remember, his chair is going to cover part of it. I normally don't like to fussy cut on camera, but I think for this particular play date. It is a necessity, so you guys can kind of see how it turns out. I almost would like to create like almost like a gallery wall of, not like a bunch of them, but like 3 or 4 of them with these, with the same concept, with some really inspiring sayings on them, and then hang them in my craft room for me to see every day. I should hang them in my office at City View. That would be fun. Okay, so we got him. We got this. Should we decide to use it? Let's cut this bust out. We just designed ourselves a whole little room for Lars. Maybe it's his study. This one I'm going to cut just a little bit more. I'm doing that off camera, so just so this looks a smidge more realistic. But I like that, like the oddities of the spatial proportions. I think it's kind of cool when they're off just a little bit. I don't know. It's just me. It just makes it feel a lot more whimsical. So, I know what I was going to tell you. I'm doing this after the Super Bowl, so, you know, I was hoping it was going to be Kansas City, but no such luck. So I rooted for the underdog and the Bengals, and unfortunately that didn't come to fruition, but yeah, no. Anyway, Dave and I decided to watch American Underdog, speaking of underdogs, which is the Kurt Warner story before the Super Bowl. And my kids had seen it, but we hadn't. And, you know, that Kurt is from Iowa, not near my hometown. He's from, I believe, Cedar Rapids, and went to UNI. But the founder and coach of arena football and the Iowa Barnstormers is a guy by the name of Jim Foster. And when I was working at, it's called the fixed base operation. It's basically where private airplanes come in and out of. There's a charter service, and they do flight lessons and all that kind of good stuff. Jim was one of our clients, and he was such a nice guy, and he had the coolest plane. I wonder if he still has it. It was called a Stearman, and it had an open cockpit. Oh my goodness, it was cool. And think like Amelia Earhart. Like, can you imagine wearing that leather little cap? And that's what it was like. It was just, and it lumbered. It made the coolest sound when it taxied and took off and landed. Oh, I told you I have wanderlust. But anyway, it was a really sweet, sweet movie. And so I promise you, if you're not into sports, doesn't matter. It's just got a really good message. And man, Kurt and Brenda Warner are one of a kind, you know, to aspire to be like that as a family and a couple. Pretty cool. So that was one really good movie that we watched. Ooh, we're getting up there. We gotta get this going. And then the other one, also sports related, was, okay, I'm going to start slapping this on, was 42, which is the Jackie Robinson story. Also really, really good. And I think, again, like, it's not something that you, if you're not into sports, that should deter you from watching it, because it's, again, it's got a good message, and boy, it makes you really think and appreciate how far we have come, even though it's probably not far enough, but He was one cool dude. And tough. Tenacious, I would say. He never gave up. So, Angela's recommendations for movies today. We're putting Lars on here. I'm trying to think. Oh, I'm working on spring break. You know, we live in the Midwest and it's flipping cold. So, I think we're going to be taking a trip to Florida. However, I haven't bought any airline tickets yet, so I'm sure soon my daughter will be on me about that. I am loving this. This is so cute. But let's just cut out a few of these because it kind of goes with the bust and see if we like them better. Move him up. I don't know. I'm just gonna... Hello, I'm back. Sorry about that. My alarm went off and unfortunately I kept going and it stopped recording. So my apologies, but I wanted to quickly run through what we finished up. So we did this little family. I know there's a little bit of a glare. Sitting on the sofa. The world needs who you were made to be. So we got that one done. And then we had the one that I did in advance to show you. Let's see if I can get this. There we go. Travel the world over to find the beautiful. We still have to name this family and the other one. Remember, this family is going to see the other family. And then we have Lars. And I just put the little be brave with your life. I like that. And this is what I ended up doing for the little wall decor. And then the one that I was working on, this is probably the most whimsical. Let's see if I can zoom back in on it. There we go. So this, I decided we're just going to call him Timmy because why not? And this is Eliza. And they have gone to their grandma's magical garden for the afternoon. And we have all kinds of things that are a little bit whimsical and maybe fairy tale-esque. But I went ahead and added all the butterflies. I added some little mushrooms, and then a tiny little baby kitty cat because I thought it needed to be there. And then I also decided to add the 2 pillows and some vintage flowers. So there you have it. I hope that you can have some fun storytelling through your ephemera and utilizing those old magazines, maybe some of the remnants and scraps like we did with the insides of the ties that we used and all kinds of other fun little pieces of embellishments that you can find. So as always, friends, thank you again for joining me. If you like this video, give us a little thumbs up or make a comment. And I look forward to seeing you next time. Until then, remember to take time to just be. Cheers.